People are spending time betting on prediction markets, apps that allow you to bet on political events, elections, sports events, sporting events, who wins, who loses by how many points, et cetera, et cetera. And this is taking a lot of time and energy from people who could be possibly be more productive. So it reminds me of Plato's Allegory of the Cave, where an entire generation of people is held prisoner in a cave, and behind them is a fire, and with people walking between the prisoners and the fire, there are shadows that are cast in front of the prisoners. So imagine prisoners that are tied down looking at a wall of the cave, and all they see is the reflection of the fire behind them on the wall. And then every now and then something passes and creates a shadow, maybe something like this. So there's a shadow on the wall. And the entire enjoyment or the entire uh, pleasure of this group of prisoners is in predicting the next shadow or the shape of the shadow or naming the shadow that goes by. So does it look like a dog's ears or does it look like rabbit ears? If a camel goes by, will there be a person sitting on the camel behind the head of the camel, or will it be bags of merchandise? Prediction. So you could think of Plato's Allegory of the Cave as just an allegory for what's happening right now. We are all willing prisoners looking at shadows being projected on our screens. So what you see on your screen right now is not actually happening in front of you, but it's projected through the internet, through YouTube, through the device that you're using. It's projected. So you could think of yourself as one of those willing prisoners who can't look away from the screen, can't look away from the shadows being projected in front of them. It's not the real thing. You're not looking at the real thing. You're looking at shadows, so, metaphorically speaking. So it's not the actual thing in front of you. You're seeing just kind of a projection of what it looks like with light. In the allegory of the cave, one person, one inquiring mind, started asking questions, and he asked the other people, why are we sitting here bound to watch these shadows pass on the wall? Is this all there is to life? What's the meaning and purpose of what we're doing? And that inquiring person, he got no answers. Everybody told him just shut up and look at the shadows, enjoy, try and predict, maybe you'll win something. And eventually he got up the courage to break away from the prisoners, break through his shackles, and leave the cave. And when he leaves the cave, he's blinded by the sunlight, and he suddenly sees all the trees and flowers and grass and animals, and he's amazed at what life is as compared to what he was experiencing, which is just a dark cave with some shadows being projected on the wall. So he immediately realizes that the rest of the prisoners are still stuck in there looking at the shadows. So he goes back into the cave and he says, hey, you guys know right outside this cave, there's a sun, there's a moon, there's trees and animals, and it's a beautiful thing out there. And everybody thinks he's crazy. They look at him like he's crazy. They tell him, just relax, just keep quiet. This is how we live our life. We watch the shadows. This is what we do. So you may find yourself in a similar situation if you've broken away from watching your screen all day. You may find it difficult to get other people to put their phones down. And if you've broken away from gambling on prediction markets, then you'll find it 10 times as hard to try and drag your friends and family away from their betting habits on prediction markets. But you'd have no interest in it. You understand that the world out there is more exciting than what happens in an app. And that would lead you to do everything you could, try every possible idea that you might come up with to try and lure people away from the shadows on the wall, from the images on screen, and try and lead them to be more productive in their lives and how to find happiness in their lives. So, in a way, that's what this channel is for. It's meant to give you a glimpse of what life could be like if you weren't so engulfed in the world of shadows being projected on screens. And hopefully one day you ask some good questions and you get to a point where you have the courage to find your own way in life. And that's when you have an opportunity to pursue true freedom and true happiness.